Hello, good evening, viewers streaming live 90th episode 2022 of Deep Talks. Founder and host Miss Gurleen Khokar in front of you in conversation with Vatsala Mehra, the Ghazal Queen. Oh my God, I have been waiting for this show, and I am sure that this is going to be a rollicking episode where you will hear Vatsala speak about her journey of life, experiences from the music industry, and much more. So, without wasting time, let's welcome my co-host Srishti Sharma, who will introduce Vatsala Mehra, the Ghazal Queen, and what an honor it is to have her on my show tonight. I hope that you will share your comments so that we come to know that you are also enjoying with us these conversations, which are eternal. I'm sure you will like, subscribe our channels, and also pay heed to the tips given by Vatsala because she is a fantastic soul. And more than that, I am her ardent admirer. So let's have
Thank you.
Srishti, my co-host, and Vatsala, you listening to the introduction of Srishti Sharma, and we welcoming you on board Deep Talks.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here with you.
Wonderful.
Good evening and welcome everyone. Tonight we have with us a very special guest, and it is my absolute pleasure and honor to introduce her to you, Miss Vatsala Mehra. Vatsala, one who spreads love wherever she goes, is exactly what she does with her vibrant voice. Popularly known as the Ghazal Queen, her love for music started at the tender age of 7. She did her formal training under Pandit Vaslekar, Chote Iqbal and Ustad Momeen Khan Saab of Lucknow Gharana. Having settled in USA after her marriage at the age of 19, she not only continued pursuing music but also went on to release her first album, Guftagu, in 1980. She has not looked back ever since, releasing an album every year. Her pop album, Ole Ole, was rated amongst the top 10 records. Her 16th album, Mere Saiyan, is a Sufi album showcasing her remarkable range. Along with this, she is also the founder and director of Balaji Academy, an institution that teaches Indian classical vocal music, ghazals, bhajans, and pop music to students of all ages, starting from as young as 5 years in a unique one-to-one basis accompanied by a musical instrument. Her students are given the opportunity to record their accomplishments and even present it on national television. They also get an opportunity to perform at several events around the world, rubbing shoulders with the best in the industry. She has been honored by the Indian government for her contributions to Indian musical tradition. She is also the winner of the Best International Women Ghazal Singer Award and is the first Indian woman ghazal singer to release a ghazal music video, Nigahein. She was the only woman ghazal singer to perform in Kennedy Center at Washington, D.C. to represent India and mesmerize the audience with a unique style, gaiki, mood, incorporating in it the themes of love, God, life, and death. Her style of presentation seems to add sheen to the timeless renditions. She has also performed around the globe to great acclaim with leading names such as Pankaj Udas and Hariharan, among others. Music is more than passion for her. It is like meditation that fills her entire being with a sense of serenity. She is a ravishing woman who, with her breathtaking voice and astonishing range, breaks all barriers with purity. At this juncture, I feel honored to introduce you with Dr. Gurleen Khokar, who, with her conviction, has achieved innumerable milestones. Her mental health initiative, Deep Talks, is a platform that gives voice to issues not yet discussed in the open. Today, in the 90th episode of Deep Talks, we have with us Miss Vatsala Mehra to mesmerize us with her journey and her beautiful voice. I invite you all to enjoy and say hello to this conversation by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing it with all your loved ones. Here, I would also like to mention that the contents of this channel doesn't intend to harm anyone's feelings or sentiments and doesn't have any intentions to hurt any religion, caste, creed, gender, or sex. जो मजा तलब में है वो हासिल में कहाँ. On this note, halting this conversation for future connects and leaving the virtual stage of communication open to the public and ma'am for leading the way up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Srishti. And once again, welcome Vatsala Mehra, the Ghazal Queen, on my show. It is so wonderful to have you tonight. There's so many comments popping in from Pushpa Kanyal. Great information. She is wishing us good evening. So, how are you feeling tonight? I hope you're feeling great.
It's an honor for me to be on your show. Let me commence the program with that. I'm feeling better, but I'm not fully recovered.
Yes,
Like,
I can
yeah.
understand that. So your love for music started at a very young age, and you did your formal training under Pandit Waslekar, Chote Iqbal, and Ustad Mumin Khan Sahab of Lucknow Gharana. We would love to know how did you feel when you were being trained under so many people and people who have done so much good. I mean, it is indeed a privilege and honor. And how it all started. If we can have a little bit of information about your interest in the same.
It started at a very young age, and then it stopped also. I was about maybe 7.5 when I showed an interest. I wanted to learn music. So I started learning under Pandit Vaslekar. And he took me, I think in a matter of 2 months, he took me up on a big stage and made me perform Rag Kafi. And
Wow.
yeah, I mean, there were like thousands of people, but when you're 7.5, you're so young that it doesn't
So
make a
yeah.
difference. I didn't know what was going on. And after that, daddy says, you know what, you're not paying attention. So this has to stop. So it stopped. Then
Yes.
we were in Delhi, we were in a bungalow and I was singing. I was very fond of Begum Akhtar, Tom
Wow.
Jones, and Mehdi Hassan Saab. So
That's
I was
fantastic.
singing, I was just, जैसे गुनगुनाते हैं. So I was singing
Hanji.
Begum Akhtar ki ghazal. So some guests came and they said, wow. And then I was told कि चुप कर जाओ, लोग घर में आए हैं. Now you keep quiet. I said, okay भाई, हम चुप कर जाते हैं. So they said,
Yeah.
बेगम अख्तर की cassette चल रही थी, आपने रोक क्यों दी? So when I heard that, I said, oh, talent hai. तो कुछ करना
Yes.
चाहिए, कुछ करना चाहिए. So then
Maybe you can hum a few lines later on the same whenever you feel comfortable, because you're talking about Begum Akhtar, and we are all ardent admirers for the music and the way
I will
you have
try.
performed.
To be
Yes.
honest with you, I am so much in awe of Begum Akhtar. I have never dared to sing any of her ghazals.
Yes.
I will try to sing just a few lines of what I was singing that night.
Sure.
ये न थी हमारी किस्मत, ये न थी हमारी किस्मत के विसाल यार होता, अगर और जीते रहते, अगर और जीते रहते, यही इंतजार होता, ये न थी हमारी किस्मत.
Wow, that was fantastic. And I'm sure that people who are watching us, they are in love with your voice. And the ones who've always been waiting for Vatsala to join this conversation on Deep Talks, they've listened to Vatsala and her voice is amazing. Well, your love for music is, I think, more than full of passion. I can say that you are passionate about your music journey.
Yes, you see,
And
then what happened? Then I started learning for a very short time from Ustad Aslam Khan Sahab, and Chote Iqbalji was later. And then I think I learned from him for maybe like a year and a half, but it was not classically trained. He would say,
okay,
"Gao," and I would repeat it. I was gifted. Then I
okay,
got
great.
married at the age of 18 and a half, and I came
Yes,
to the United States. And
yes.
I almost have a feeling, without realizing, I think I went into depression because I put on like 40 pounds or
Oh
maybe
my God.
35 pounds in a matter of 6 months, which is not heard of.
Yeah, that's an honest
So
confession, Vatsala, that people fear talking about their depressive phases. And you're just coming out openly about it. I'm
no,
sure people who are watching
I
us will.
think, I think
Yes,
I did. I didn't go. I didn't take help. But I think because why else would I put on so much weight? And I would keep crying.
yes,
"तब समझ नहीं आता था," because I did not know anybody in this country.
true.
And my husband didn't have too many friends, Indian friends, and I did not know anybody, so I never spoke about it. Actually, this is the first time I'm even mentioning that. I think it must have been that, because when you hear, they say when you're in depression, you cry without realizing why you're crying.
Yes,
So that's when I said, I'm a very positive thinker and I'm an athlete. So I said,
optimistic.
enough
Yes.
is enough. I said, I'm going to India. So I went to India, and when my sister saw me, she with so much weight on, she didn't recognize me. And then I said, I have to start singing again. Then I started learning from another teacher. And then, of course, I made my first album at the age of 21 or 20 years old, because I just
That's
started
amazing.
practicing. I started teaching myself because I had to have a positive route for me to
Yes,
be content with what I'm doing. And I am a
that's
spiritual person to begin with. So I
yes,
just, कहते हैं ना कि एक खुमार चढ़ जाता है कि तुम बस पागलपन
yeah,
जिसको कहते हैं.
exactly.
I was in the path of pagalpan. I was
Wow.
literally teaching myself. I would go to India, but basically, then I did take training on and off because I couldn't go there for too long. I would go
Yes.
for 2 months, 2.5 months, and then come back.
So
Then,
your first album was released in 1980, if I'm not wrong, named
yes,
Guftagoo. So
yes,
it must have been very memorable for you, and I'm sure that after that you must not have looked back, and there must be albums after albums and many offers coming by your side.
yes, yes, it did.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So I hear a lot about your introducing pop culture into the ghazals, and that is one fantastic step that you took. And I also know that maybe it was inspired from your daughter's
Yes,
consistent stating to you that
yes,
yes, I did my homework thoroughly. This speaks about knowing Vatsala a little more. So I know that when a daughter says something, the mother was on it, and she made sure that she did something which was, I think, admired not only by me but by people who saw you singing that
yes.
ghazal.
Yeah,
So something about it,
it
how
was
it
a
all happened.
challenge. It was a challenge because I could not leave her at that point. She was like maybe about 12 years old, and I didn't want to leave her by herself. I couldn't take her.
Yes.
Normally, I would take her with me in every trip. So then I said, okay. So I started writing my own text. I did my own writing for the pop albums. Then,
Wow.
as you know, I got an offer when I was in India to stay back. And I think those days, they had something like MTV or something where they would.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So
Those were the days.
I had to decline because I had to come back because I have
Yes.
a daughter and I was married. So, I mean, I always had to leave and come back. The albums used to be released, beautiful functions in Taj Hotel. The billboards would
Wow.
go up, and that's literally the same week I had to come back. So I never
So,
got
Vatsala,
to.
many people would love to know from you, halting your conversation, what was your moment like when you felt that you are there at the top? Like, did you feel that being at the top at that point of time mattered to you more than what you were doing in learning the music as much as I think you are never die kind of a lady, never die or never give up kind of an attitude which you had, and you still continue teaching students. So, what was your aha moment at that time?
You'll be surprised. My aha moment was when I released my first album, Guftagoo, which was recorded in 10 days. In 10 days.
Fantastic. Oh
So
my
that,
God.
and when it was released, and I saw the billboards, and I said, aha. And the album
That
got
is
released in
fantastic.
Taj.
Superb.
So to me, that was aha moment because I said, even if nothing happens after that, I never thought I would actually ever make an album at the age of 20. So to me, that was my aha moment. And I said, if anything happens after that, I'm very blessed. God's been very kind to me. And that was my aha moment. And after
That
that,
is fantastic.
uh, and the second aha moment was when I was the only female artist who performed at the 25th anniversary at Kennedy Center, because they
Yes.
flew about 300 artists from India. Sharmila Tagore, Nasiruddin Shah, all the Shankar Mahadevan, all the top-notch artists were there. And I was
True.
the only female vocalist. So to
Yes.
me, that was my second aha moment. I said, okay,
Yes.
that's really
I've always read about you, and I've always felt that you have actually led the flag at a higher post. Like, you have been the winner of Best International Women Ghazal Singer Award. You happen to be the first Indian woman ghazal singer to release a ghazal video fondly named Nigahein, which I'm very fond of. And you have also been the only women ghazal singer to perform in Kennedy Center, as you mentioned. So you
yes.
have set a benchmark for others, and it's difficult to come to a level that you have achieved. How do you feel about it? And these are all the great things that are going to be eternally remembered by the people, because I'm sure that you are a name in the music industry. You've contributed a lot in the field of music. Even the Indian government has honored you for it. I mean, you're keeping the music tradition alive. So um, I'm sure that I should not be asking you this question. How is your personal lifestyle? Like, I mean, the big wigs stay in a luxurious lifestyle, I know, but does that hamper your learning still in the music tradition, or you're still continuing to, in your way, teach students and make them the best performers so that they also can contribute themselves in the industry?
Actually, one of my students, she was with me for 15 years, Anjali Taneja. She's actually recording, she's writing her own music. She's released several albums. She's done very well. And she's really done very well. And yes, the other students have done very well. Like I said, they performed in so many places. I'm cutting down a bit now. And
Yes, I can
I'm
understand
not
that.
teaching as much as I
It's
used
like
to.
there's
I'm
so
cutting
many
down.
people who have joined us this evening. There's Arasu saying a warm welcome, and you're such an energetic singer and so incredibly very well accomplished, amazing role model for many people. There is Pushpa Kanyal who is mentioned, please sing with pop. Oh my God, there's a request from Pushpa Kanyal. We will definitely look into it a little later. We are in conversation with her, and she has a beautiful melodious voice. So she's also mentioning, thank you, Gurleenji, for this interview. Oh, it's my honor, because we have been able to find some time together, and that is virtually, but I'm sure when physically we will meet, we will be actually even more happy. I know about your 16th album, Mere Saiyan. It
Yes.
happens to be a Sufi rendition showcasing your range, and I'm very fond of Sufi renditions. So, how did this happen? How this idea came to your mind that I have to sing on this level?
I have always loved Sufi, and I always wanted to sing Sufi. So when
Wow.
I was the first vocalist to ever perform at the Wolf Trap in
Yes.
Washington. So they said, "Will you be doing anything different?" So I said, "Yeah, I will release my new album. I'm going to record Sufi album," and that's how the idea came about, that I'm going to record it. And I recorded it, and we released it. And of course, it's available uh, in all the what should I say, your
Yeah,
app, music
millions
app.
of millions of fans and admirers of yours. We've seen your website; it's there, available everywhere.
Yes.
But when I was listening to it, I felt that you have a spiritual streak inside you.
Oh
When
yeah.
you're singing, it comes within. It comes from within you. So how is it that you take music as a form of meditation? Because I feel when you're
Yes.
singing, it releases a lot of toxic thoughts. I mean,
Oh
it
yes.
is something that clears you out of all the negativity. As you said, you're an optimistic soul.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure that this journey is not great enough if we say that there was no optimism because of music, which is your passion. And how about talking about optimistic thoughts? Do they really help in bringing up a great music?
See, for me, music is a form of meditation.
Yes.
And the minute I do the sa ka riyaz, that is total. And I teach my students also, because when you're doing your especially when you're singing Rag Bhairav,
Yes.
it's a morning rag, and it actually, if you do it the correct way, it opens up your chakras. It opens up
Yes.
your chakras. And
That is,
talking
that's
of
good.
positivity, even if there's something negative that happens in my life, I take out and I turn it into, okay, what can I derive that is positive through it? So,
Yes.
like say an incident has happened. So I say everybody's my guru, because through them, whoever, whether it's an A, B, or C, I have actually become stronger and I've learned so much. So I think the whole world is my guru. The
Wow.
entire stage is
That
my
is
guru.
an incredible thought that you are carrying. Like I've also seen you with Sadhguru. So how was
Oh,
it meeting
yes.
meeting him? It was I was I've done a thorough research into your life, so I know a lot by now because I'm a fan of yours. So I won't shy away was from saying that I was reading into every bit that how Vatsala takes everything in life and how beautifully she is living up. And I would say it's fantastic. So how did this meeting happen? How did you feel meeting Sadhguru?
Sadhguru, actually, it's such a lovely thing. My sister was talking about him, and I was invited at the ambassador's residence. And Sadhguru was talking that day. He was giving a short talk. And as soon as the talk got over, for some reason, he came down to me and he held my hand. And I think he was giving me positivity.
Blessing.
He has the strength to pass on the strength. Maybe he thought at that time that, oh, I think she needs me. And I really did need him at that time.
Wow.
So I was going through a phase of life, which I don't want to get into right now. But he
Yes.
helped me a lot. My father was very spiritual, but I lost
Wow.
my father uh, a while ago. So then I
Sad.
went and I visited his ashram. I did a few courses with him, and he is absolutely marvelous. He's amazing, amazing soul, as I would call him. So
I'm
yes,
sure I believe you.
I'm absolutely his follower. I'm his fan. I'm his biggest fan, I think, Sadhguru's. And
Exactly.
he's a no nonsense guru. He's really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic that you
Yes,
have happened to meet him, and
I'm
I do
blessed.
admire his speeches, his motivational talks, and they're very, very rational. They do not stray
Good.
you from, something that you are going haywire here and there in life. He
No,
puts you on a straight path.
he
So the ones
straightens
who
you up in a moment. He says, no nonsense, straight.
Yes, exactly. So you happen to be the founder director of Balaji Music Academy. So where did this seed of thought arrive in you, and how did you keep its name, Balaji Music Academy? You're teaching Indian
Because
classical vocal music, ghazals, bhajans, and pop music to all of your students, and they're as very young as the age, I think, 5, if I'm not wrong. It's like
I prefer the age of 7, but actually it happened. One of the students' mother, she brought her daughter to me, and she didn't tell me she was 5, because I do not take unless you're 7. I interview every student. And
yes,
Balaji Music Academy, because I used to go to Tirupati every year on New Year's Eve.
wow,
I don't do that now, but for 10, 11 years, I went there regularly. And how the
yes,
thought of opening the academy, I was sitting in a party one day and somebody said, oh, so and so is teaching music, and I know for a fact that so and so does not know anything about music. So then I
true.
said, I am here and it's not right that I am not teaching. So that's when I said, I'm going to open an academy and teach and give my knowledge, whatever I have. So that's how the academy started, and Balaji Music Academy came from Tirupati, because I used to go
Wow.
there
So
every
that's
year.
again a blessing. You are receiving blessings from all the gurus, and I believe that this is a signal that you are teaching a lot many students, and it is going to be an eternal thing that they're going to contribute in the music industry, and they'll be great singers. And you're so happy when you talk about music, you really do. Come across as an individual who considers humanity more important in life, and I'm sure that you're very grounded in your life. Like it was not difficult to approach you at all. That there are some people who reach at the top and they appear to be a little more egoistic, which is totally in contrast of your nature. You are a very, very humble person. I've come across you, we have chatted, we conversed, and you're still still talking, and you're there with me. I cannot believe my eyes, and I am actually today awestruck that you are there with me on this show and we're having a conversation virtually. And it is just pure unconditional love that flows in. I really was watching Nigahe. I was listening to Nigahe, and I would love to know how this happened and how this name was kept, because when I see your beautiful eyes, I felt like, because I got attracted to it, I felt that this title must have come from her eyes itself, Nigahe. So something about it's a memory about Nigahe that you can share with the audience, because the audience is going gaga.
Yeah, but Nigahe is actually, it's interesting. You're too much. You're beyond intelligent, I would say. You are a true psychiatrist. Nigahe came across because I had this gentleman, he's no more, Mr. Prem Ramchandani. He was a producer. And he admired my singing a lot, and he admired the way I carried myself. So a few of the ghazals were wrote, actually, one or two of them, the Shire said that हमने आपकी खिदमत में ये पेश कर रहे हैं ghazals. So, and I actually, it's very dear to my heart, the album Nigahein, because all the ghazals are beautiful and they are soft tracks, and it's just beautiful. I think and I did not name the album Nigahein. It was named by the Shires and by the producer. So, and yeah.
It is wonderful. I was just thinking that, when spiritual souls connect, they do come to know a lot about each other. So I was stuck at this particular thing when I put in the first flyer of yours, that was Nigahin. So it was like, when I saw your picture, when you shared a picture of yours, I felt that it is so suitable, a title given to a lady who's so beautiful. Very rare a combination to see a woman ghazal singer who's beautiful, and her voice is just mesmerizing enough. Like, people are awestruck, and I am actually an ardent admirer. So, was this a phase of marriage and being professional a little difficult? Because
Of
for
course.
women, like in India, people do feel that it is difficult to come up to a successful level if you have tied a knot or you're married. So what have you to say about those women who are sitting at home and they still have talent and they haven't utilized their talent? Because I feel there should be people coming on board and talking about that you should live your life the way you would want, balancing each side very beautifully. And if somebody doesn't know how to do it, they can always ask for assistance.
See, it
So
was a
what is your take?
challenge. It was a challenge for me because, first of all, I don't live in India. That was the biggest minus point. Because when I signed up with Music India, it was a number one company in the, at that time. He told me, he says, "You're my derby horse." He says, "Come back to India. You are my winner."
Back. Our
He says,
screens
"Come
were
back." This
frozen
is
for
in
a minute, but her
1980.
screen is frozen from her end.
Nine.
I'm sure that Vatsala will rejoin us. This is a wonderful conversation with a ghazal singer, and I'm sure it is wonderful to have you back, Vatsala. There was a technical glitch for a moment.
Oh,
Yes, we are back. So you were
okay.
saying something.
Was I saying about, what was I saying?
You were saying something about, I think,
Oh,
I am
yes.
also forgetting. Yeah, I think you must be remembering.
Yeah, I think it was the that I my biggest I think my biggest hurdle was that I was a singer living in America, not in India, because
Yes,
when you live there, things are so different. It's so
yes,
different, but living here and going there all the time back and forth was a challenge, but I was not going to let that stop me. I did the best I could, because I believe you have to do the best, and the rest is Rab will look after
yes,
you. So
yes, yes,
every year I would go to India, and that kept me going. Like, I was just focused on singing, nothing else. My daughter, my life, my husband, and my singing. That was it. But
wow,
if I can do it, I think anybody in the world can do it, because I think I'm the only ghazal artist who does not live in India. And I still
yes,
came up with 17 albums with major
yes,
companies. So
yes,
if a woman is sitting home and not doing enough, maybe she has other issues. Sometimes we don't know what they go through. But I
true.
feel that maybe one thing I leave behind is every woman should look at me and say, you know what, if she could do it sitting in America,
Yes,
we can do it
yes.
from any part of the world. There's nothing to stop you but you yourself.
Yes. So I'm sure that there must be Bollywood offers coming to you for acting, because you look stunning, as I have been mentioned earlier to you. So
I
did
did.
you feel a little guilty that you left those offers and you continued music like off and
No,
on? Or are you happy? Are you really happy with what you chose? And I'm sure that I can see that you're very happy with your choice. And that speaks volumes, because here you are at the top. So what have you to say about it?
I don't have any regrets. I wish I was living in India. Then I might have made another 60 more albums, you know.
Yes,
So it
true.
is, I have no regrets. No, no, really, because I think, like, like you were talking about my album, Mere Saiya, that I made
Yes.
6 years ago. There's one, you must listen to it. There's one Sufi Kalam by Bulle Shah. And every
Okay.
morning I get up and I sing that. Data ne
Wow.
mainu sab hai ditta, Data ne mainu sab hai ditta, main ta kyun na shukr manawa, Data ne mainu sab hai ditta, shukr manawa, shukr manawa, shukr manawa, shukr manawa. So I get up every morning saying shukriya, shukriya to my Rabb. And
Wow,
that's
that's
how,
commendable.
yes,
Commendable. I think the acts of gratitude speak volumes.
yes,
And what are the tips that you can give to the students who want to take training and they are still waiting for that time? Do you think the time never comes? One has to start from today itself. Like there should be no hesitation to ask for
no,
help if it
there
comes.
should be no hesitation. And I would say that nowadays you can even start learning online. There are
Yes,
people giving music lessons online, and they're really good. They're very
true,
good. So I don't think there's anything to stop you. If you have the hunger in you, if you have the passion in you, nothing can stop you. Nothing and nobody can stop you. और वो भी
very right.
म्यूजिक जैसी चीज तो तुम्हें कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता, because you can be sitting
Exactly.
anywhere and you can be learning online, and they're giving
True,
free classes.
true.
Start practicing your sa, your basic notes, your holding notes, your little tons, and
Yes,
you must do your lower notes, because it's the lower notes that forms the bass. And always
yes.
tell them, the lower you go, the higher you can touch the higher chords.
That's a
And
wonderful thought, Vatsala. I always share a quote on my show. So today's quote is music not only heals, but it's a great way to increase your self-confidence and a mechanism, which is therapeutic in its process for the entire human body. My dear friends, if you're watching us live with Vatsala Mehra in conversation, I'm honored that she took out her precious time for us to be with us. And there is a small request from people and from my side, if you can sing a line or two, aaj jaane ki zid na karo. Like that is something that it's like it's going to be an
that's
awestruck moment for me, because I'm sure that people are waiting, and there has been a request from Pushpa about the same song, Pushpa Kanyal, and she
okay.
said that in fact Helen resembles with you is her statement. Right now she's passed a compliment to you, and let's hear if you can.
Okay. हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे, ऐसी बातें किया ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे, ऐसी बातें किया ना करो, तुम ही सोचो जरा, क्यों न रोके तुम्हें, जान जाती है जब उठ के जाते हो तुमको अपनी कसम जाने जा, बात इतनी मेरी मान लो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो.
My That is wonderful. And applause from the audience side and the ones who are watching. This is fantastic in conversation with Vatsala Mehra. Despite suffering from COVID, she is here recovering and talking to me. It's a wonderful idea to be watching a lady who has achieved so much and yet humble enough to sing few lines for us. And the fans of yours who are watching, I'm sure they will follow you after the show ends, because I'm going to share with everybody. And the passion that you have for music is also coming across right through the screen, which I can see. When I mentioned that we are going to have the show on 11th of June, you were ready, like, yes, this time we are going to make it happen. The love for music is seen. It's seen in your eyes, it's seen in your voice, it can be felt. So, do you think, Vatsala, that the women in India need to, bruce up their thoughts about improving their self-confidence? Because when it comes to going to achieve bigger heights in life, they somehow get tired by their family ties. I'm sure that there are situations across, but women like who are divorced and the ones who are left behind, should they also have a thought about pursuing their talents and hobbies in an easy manner, and they should forget their past and live in the present,
Absolutely.
take their future?
Absolutely. I'll take a minute off and then go there. Like when I teach my students, and now that they've grown up, every
Yes.
parent has come to me and said, Vatsala ji, what you have done is what we could never do. You've given them the confidence, because I would make them sing on platforms like Wolf Rap and other platforms. And coming back to the women who are divorced, I think they should feel they are the luckiest women on earth, because now they can concentrate on themselves.
True.
I think they should consider themselves very lucky. Now they can
True.
lead a peaceful life, and there is no interference, of any kind. And they
Yes.
have to go out and do what they feel they excel in. Or if they don't, they can always start taking up classes, taking up courses. And this is the time when they can blossom out into their own personalities with nobody to stop them, nothing.
Yes.
This is the best
It's
time.
wonderful.
Yes.
It is indeed wonderful. Vatsala, before this conversation ends, we would love to know some healthy tips to maintain a great marital life and enjoy your professional life. Because as a mental health expert, there are people who suffer from toxic relations. And I always break open the barriers to people to convey to them that they should not remain stagnant in life. If they are feeling something that's abusive to them or something that's toxic, they should not, hold themselves in asking for assistance and moving forward in their life. And it's not that difficult, because even impossible word says I'm possible. So some tips coming from your end, and one beautiful experience of your marital life where you really felt loved by your husband.
I
This
actually,
is wonderful.
I, I divorced my husband 5 years ago.
Oh God.
So
So
I am,
that's
I'm
another
a very
beautiful moment.
happy, I'm a very
Yes.
happy single woman doing everything right. I do my meditation. I mean, so the only tip I can do is, yes, if it's a toxic marriage, absolutely get out of it, because you don't need
Yes.
toxin, because you are
True.
everybody is precious.
Yes.
And if there are some issues and you're not getting along, I think it depends from every household to every household. Some women have very young children and it's difficult for them, maybe financially. You have to
Yes.
have the financial support. And I think a
True.
lot of women in India or anywhere else in the world, they cannot do that because they're not financially independent. I could do it because I'm very financially strong, so I could do
Yeah.
it. But
True. I also am divorced, happily divorced.
say
so
that
so
again.
we relate on that angle, because I thought that if the marriage is not working out, there were people saying that he's an army officer. Why did you leave him? I said, if it's not working, he cannot see the way I can see the world or my journey in life, the future.
Exactly.
I can't walk that path where there is harassment for dowry or something that people can't understand what we are going through.
Mhm. No, it's absolutely fine to get out of a situation that's not doing good to you. It's not healing you in any way, and
True. True.
you have to heal yourself. And I again say that spirituality is. I say every woman is a Durga.
Yes.
Every woman is a Durga. You have
Yes.
compassion, you have anger, you have strength, peace.
Yes.
thing. So if a woman starts to believe, and like I said, everybody's situation is different. I cannot
True.
make a statement. It may not work for so many people. And so many of
Yes.
the women stay in marriages for the financial benefits.
True.
You
True.
know, I
I
know a
agree with
lot
you.
of women in India and here, their husbands are doing what men do, right?
Yes.
You don't have to get
True.
into that. And
Yes.
they look the other way because they say, you know what, we are enjoying the financial, and they don't have the basic guts to walk out of
Yes.
marriage. They don't have the
It takes a
confidence.
strong woman,
The guts.
Vatsala. You are a strong woman, and so may I call myself that we walked out of something that was not suiting us, and maybe we are more better and we are more successful. Like I'm running this show, and there were people who were saying, there were naysayers saying, "Oh, where will you end up doing deep talks, and how would you just, think that this is going to be a remarkable journey for you?" I always felt that I can interview people in the way that others cannot, and I can bring those people around, and it could be in conversations that we are healing ourselves. And when we converse, like Sigmund Freud, he started with the concept of catharsis in psychology.
Mhm.
That's a talk therapy.
Of
So when
course.
you're talking healing, so I felt that I can open the barriers and I can befriend souls from across the globe. There were so many people who pushed me up, and I was like, why not? When it's coming to me, I should not stop.
No,
So during my divorce battle, I thought of this idea, and I took the courage, I initiated, and today, look, we are having somebody who's at a great height. And I'm sure it's going to go on with people who are going to come on my show, because there are a lot of blessings coming from you and others who would want that this show should continue.
of course.
And
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're
so
doing
we
a
all,
marvelous job. You should be so proud of yourself. You're conducting the show with so much of brilliance and dignity that I wish you all the best. And my duas are with you. I bless you that you
it means
go
a
ahead.
lot. We share a deep tip on our show, which is today's tip is practical guide to reach people who are successful is not difficult to follow, my dear friends. Just use your politeness and be respectful to everybody. We are
Yes.
in conversation with Vatsala Mehra. She sang few songs for us. The ghazals that she sang, they took my heart away, and obviously the breath away. It's amazing to have her on our show. There have been comments coming in from people. So many people today joined in. I'm sure that Pushpa Kanyal is the only one commenting a lot many comments, and I am sure that you enjoyed the show. She has mentioned, thank God I could join you today after my eye surgery. God
Pushpa is
bless
a
you.
sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. And I hope she's doing better after her eye surgery. I'm praying for you, Pushpa. Get well
Yes,
soon. She's a
this is
darling.
something that we always feel so happy that there are people who are sitting at their homes after surgeries or going through something that's difficult, and they still manage to find out time and be there with us during these conversations. Vatsala, one fantastic message to the viewers who are watching us and the ones who will be watching us later, our conversation. And how do you take women empowerment? What have you to say about women empowerment?
I feel there is nothing in the world that women cannot do. There is no difference between a man and a woman except for the physical body. And I think a woman can do much more than a man because she can think, she can take care of so many things at one time, whereas to a man is one way. He thinks one way. He cannot put himself out in different various, what should I say, like a woman can do so many things at the same time and do it.
Multitask.
Yeah,
Yes.
multitask. Exactly. You said the right word.
Yes.
So women
So,
empowerment, I think it has always been there. Why look at the prime minister we had, Indira Gandhi. She was the first prime
yes,
minister in the world. Okay, and Nazir Bhutto also. Is that am I getting it?
yes,
So
yes, you're right.
women empowerment has always been there. People are just coming out with these words now. It's
Yes.
always been there. I mean, look at our goddesses and everybody. It's like it's always been there.
I
Shakti,
am I'm
women is
sure that
Shakti. A
yeah,
woman
like
is
I said, that
Shakti.
we are born empowered and we realize
Yes,
the talents in the journey of life.
yes,
And being bold, some become bold, some are still on their way to find out their talents. And it is not, it's not bad to ask for help. I would say be optimistic in the work, and it would be a development in progress, I'm sure, for the people who are watching us. And I'm sure that every heart and mind needs to express. Expressions comes through various forms. It could be music, it could be any other talent like dancing. And I'm
Yes.
sure music, dancing, and all these things go alongside. If you see the people who are artists like Vatsala rightly is, I'm sure you must also be interested in forms of dancing or somewhere
Yes,
other.
I love dancing. I love it's
Yes,
the rhythm. The rhythm is in me. I love dancing. I like I enjoy every kinds of music. Like I remember I used to listen to Tom Jones, and my father would say, "ये क्या है सुनने की बात? ये क्यों सुन रही हो?" Because I used to love Tom Jones, you know.
yeah.
And music in any, I love jazz. I love French music. I like
Yes.
everything, all kinds of music. The
Yeah,
rhythm.
it is.
It's
It
the
is
rhythm.
wonderful. So before you quit this conversation and we end this conversation, because for people we are ending this conversation, for us it is going to be there after this show also whenever we can catch up, and I'm sure we'll meet in the future very soon.
Yes.
Um, one thing that can be good for people who are going through depression, and one message to the viewers. These are the two things that you can let people know. Like one thing is that if they're going through depression, like you said, that you could be going through and you never
I
knew
no,
that.
that was that was like 40 years ago when I got
Yes,
married. I think because now when you hear people talk, I think I had it for a for a
yes,
while. I think the
yes,
best thing is you have to be spiritually strong. My first thing is
yes,
you have to be spiritually strong. You have to do
yes,
meditation because meditation calms you down. And if
yes,
somebody's depressed, you have to reach out for help. you
yes,
if you understand what is depression, because now you do, okay, people know, people are, because everybody's talking about it.
yes, true,
When I got married, people never talked. I didn't even know what depression meant at that point.
true, very
Maybe
true.
I went through it for a year or so, because I'm sure I did for a year, but then I got out of it because I'm very positive and I took a,
Yes,
like I said. So I think if and these days everybody, if they're intelligent enough, they know what depression, what should I say, the steps leading towards depressions are. You can
yes,
tell. They have to reach out for help. They have.
true. That's wonderful, Vatsala.
Yeah.
The last message for the viewers before we quit the conversation. We are waiting maybe a line or two, maybe something that you really feel that should come out from your heart for the host, for the co-host, for the viewers who are watching. And I'm sure the comments are going to keep pouring in till we end the conversation. But I pay thanks to all those who have joined in tonight with us, and I'm sure this is going to be there on the YouTube as well. So you can subscribe to the channel and can stay tuned to Vatsala Mehra's website, and you can keep watching her albums, listening to it, and also keep following me on my Facebook page for the updates on Deep Talks.
What should I sing? Okay, I will sing a very soft track from Mere Saiyan, my album.
Wow.
ਆ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਦਾ ਹਾਲ ਸੁਣਾਵਾਂ ਦੇਰ ਨਾ ਲਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਰੂਪ ਮੈਂ ਬਣਾਵਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਖਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਈਆਂ.
Wow, that was fantastic having you tonight with us, Vatsala. I hope you get recovered from COVID and you stay in pink of health. All my wishes, and the viewers who watched us, all their wishes are with you. And I'm sure that you loved the conversation as much as I did enjoying this with you.
Yes, I
And
did. It was an honor for me to be here, and I give you all my blessings. Carry on with these beautiful shows that you're conducting, you and your partner. And I
thank you so
enjoyed my
much.
conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Vatsala. Good night and have a great day at your end.
Thank you. Thank you.